Online article, many salaries can no longer be paid, system officials pushed to their limits. On the eve of Putin's visit to China, US announces plans to harshly target Xi's new 3. Tesla expands layoffs in China, halts hiring in North America. Sharp increase in illegal immigrants, US-China repatriation cooperation may quietly resume. It's all covered in today's China Truths. Online article, many salaries can no longer be paid, system officials pushed to their limits. How dire is China's economy? A recent article on independent media exposes alarming conditions. Recent reports and social media posts have highlighted significant pay cuts and layoffs within China's governmental system, signaling a broader trend of wage reductions. A particular account details a local government employee's struggles with unpaid salaries for nearly a year, a situation pushing him to his limits. The writer believes that those in the system need to just hold on, as eventually, salaries will be paid out. However, his friend pointed out a significant shift this year. In the past, when there were delays, the employer would arrange loans to cover salaries within 3 months. While technically loans, no one worried about repayment. It was essentially just a workaround for paying salaries without any plans to reclaim past payments. This year, however, his employer is unable to secure such loans, leading to widespread delays. Notably, administrative roles, typically held by leadership, remain somewhat shielded from these issues, ensuring they still receive their paychecks. Despite working in the disciplinary department, a strong sector within the system, the writer's friend is experiencing severe financial difficulties, a situation that suggests even graver issues in less influential departments. Unable to receive his salary yet unwilling to risk unemployment, he mirrors a common plight faced by many across both public and private sectors. In industries like the struggling real estate sector, executives are missing out on bonuses but are not resigning, instead choosing to endure the challenging economic environment. As a result, numerous individuals are merely scraping by, with some enduring pay cuts and others not receiving any wages at all, relying on credit cards to manage their living expenses. This financial strain is widespread, affecting various sectors and underscoring significant economic distress. The situation is exacerbated by China's ongoing land finance crisis, which has led to widespread pay cuts starting last year, even affecting police officers in major cities. For instance, a recent report from Radio Free Asia highlighted a 20% reduction in police salaries in cities such as Tianjin, Dalian, and Nanjing. Amid these economic challenges, the potential return of Donald Trump to the White House in the upcoming November presidential election looms large. China has not fulfilled the commitments from the Phase 1 trade deal signed during Trump's previous term, with many observers warning that Trump's potential return could lead to severe consequences for Beijing. Herbert Raymond McMaster, who served as National Security Advisor under Trump, shared with Nikkei Asia on November 3 his expectation that Trump would take decisive and stringent actions against China for its unfair economic practices, which might include imposing a 200% tariff on Chinese-made electric vehicles. McMaster also voiced his confidence that if Trump were to win, the U.S. would steadfastly continue to protect Japan and Taiwan. When questioned on whether Trump would agree to deploy troops to defend Taiwan, McMaster affirmed, "I believe the answer is yes." From a distance, McMaster expressed his hope that Xi Jinping and the Chinese Communist Party realized that achieving their goals in Taiwan through military force would come at an unacceptably high cost. On the eve of Putin's visit to China, U.S. announces plans to harshly target Xi's new 3. According to Reuters, President Joe Biden is reportedly set to unveil new tariffs targeting China's strategic industries on May 14, just a day before Russian President Vladimir Putin's state visit to China. The precise amounts and specific categories of these tariffs remain unclear, but insiders suggest that the Biden administration is focusing on sectors critical to strategic competition and national security. Bloomberg reports that the affected industries will likely include electric vehicles, batteries, and solar equipment, with formal announcements to be made by the U.S. Trade Representative's office. U.S. Trade Representative Catherine Tai indicated on April 19 that a decision is forthcoming regarding the review of tariffs on over $300 billion worth of Chinese imports, as the administration continues to refine its strategy. In the context of Xi Jinping's European tour on May 7, the U.S. Department of Commerce revoked export licenses to Huawei for firms like Intel and Qualcomm, citing national security risks. This action is part of a broader scrutiny concerning the security threats from Chinese electronic products. During a budget hearing on May 8, U.S. Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo stated that although the U.S. does not intend to sever trade relations with China, it is essential to protect sensitive technologies. Raimondo said, "Huawei poses a threat, and artificial intelligence is our focus. As we gather more data about these threats, we will modify our controls to enhance security." On May 9, the U.S. added 37 Chinese entities to its trade blacklist, with some implicated in last year's spy balloon incident over the U.S. and others accused of supporting Chinese military efforts or assisting Russia's aggression in Ukraine. Voice of America notes that Biden's use of tariffs mirrors that of his predecessor, Donald Trump, as both have employed tariffs as a strategy against the Chinese Communist Party during their election campaigns. Biden also proposed a 25% tariff on Chinese steel and aluminum last month, a move some analysts believe will have minimal impact on China due to the low volume of these metals imported from China. The current 27.5% tariff on Chinese electric vehicles has nearly eliminated their presence in the U.S. market, making any additional tariffs more symbolic than effective. Additionally, the importation of China's solar products often occurs via third countries, which lessens the direct impact of the U.S. tariffs. Therefore, these tariff policies are seen as a strong political signal from the Biden administration to the CCP, a warning shot to Xi Jinping before Putin's visit to China. Tesla expands layoffs in China, halts hiring in North America. Following its announcement of the most significant layoffs in the company's history, Tesla, the American electric vehicle behemoth, is ramping up its job cuts in China. According to an internal source, earlier, Tesla declared a plan to cut its global workforce by 10%, kicking off the initial layoffs on April 16, which could see over 20,000 employees let go. Bloomberg reports that Tesla has commenced another wave of layoffs this week, predominantly in China, targeting various sectors at its Shanghai Gigafactory, including customer service, engineering, production, and logistics staff. An insider stated that the severance for most of the terminated staff is calculated based on their tenure, with each year of service translating to 1 month's salary. The exact number of impacted employees remains uncertain. Notably, Tesla's Shanghai facility accounts for more than half of its worldwide production. Notably, Elon Musk's recent trip to China last month was unable to forestall these job cuts. Tesla's performance in the first quarter of the year missed forecasts across the board. In China, Tesla faces stiff competition from local electric vehicle manufacturers like BYD, offering lower prices. This competition, coupled with diminished consumer confidence, has adversely affected Tesla's sales in the region. According to Bloomberg, Tesla's market share in China has dropped from 10.5% last year to approximately 7.5% this year. Beyond the layoffs, Tesla has also stopped recruiting new staff. By May 8, the company had eliminated over 3,400 job postings across the United States, Canada, Mexico, and Puerto Rico, leaving only 3 short-term training positions available. Sharp increase in illegal immigrants, U.S.-China repatriation cooperation may quietly resume. Beijing and Washington have quietly resumed the U.S.-China illegal immigrant repatriation cooperation, which the CCP had paused in August 2022. Last month, U.S. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas revealed that high-level discussions are underway to forge a repatriation agreement as the U.S. grapples with a sharp increase in illegal immigration. In 2023 alone, over 37,000 Chinese citizens were detained at the U.S. southern border, 50 times the number in 2021, raising concerns about potential CCP spies and military personnel among these immigrants. Li Muyang, host of News Highlights, remarked on the nature of the migrants, observing from numerous videos at the US-Mexico border that the Chinese migrants are typically young, strong men with very short hair, who do not appear to be just ordinary people struggling in mainland China. Their presence in the US could thus pose a security threat. Despite the reinitiated cooperation on repatriation, there is considerable skepticism about the CCP's readiness and capability to effectively collaborate with the U.S. on border security issues. Muyang highlighted the CCP's track record of disregarding international agreements, citing their failure to adhere to commitments under the World Trade Organization and the premature nullification of the Sino-British Joint Declaration on Hong Kong. Former Assistant Secretary of State Pond expressed doubts about China's transparency, noting the CCP, would flatly deny someone's Chinese nationality, and he questioned the plausibility that a country known for its rigorous surveillance would lack photographic records of its citizens. Secretary Mayorkas has indicated that the ongoing negotiations with Chinese officials aim to facilitate an arrangement allowing the U.S. to deport a greater number of illegal immigrants. Muyang cautioned, capturing these individuals for the CCP might interfere with China's long-term strategies in the U.S. He also noted that this situation is particularly disadvantageous for those genuinely in distress in China who seek refuge in the U.S. Let us know your thoughts on today's topic by leaving a comment below. If you found this video helpful, please share it with a friend. It inspires us to continue creating more quality and reliable content. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more interesting insights from China Truths. Thanks for tuning in.